I don't know about you, but I just like the sound of that. Welcome to Chug Chow. It's Todd Newton. How are you? ChugandChow.com. Food fanatics, beverage buddies. This is the podcast where we're always cooking up something special. I'm ready to take you on another delicious deep dive into America's most authentic eats and legendary libation stations. And you know how it goes. We're not here to talk about those cookie-cutter chain joints or fancy schmancy establishments where you need a reservation and a second mortgage. We're all about those diamond-in-the-rough dives, the mom-and-pop gems, the neighborhood watering holes where the bartender knows who you are and some secrets that you hope no one else finds out about. And the cook still flips burgers with heart and soul. The locals are regulars, the walls tell stories, and every bite and every sip comes with a side of character that you just can't manufacture. So grab your napkin, pull up a stool, let's dig into today's culinary adventure. Trust me, after this episode, you're going to want to fire up the GPS and make a trip to Siesta Key happen. You and I, friend, are on our way to the cottage. The cottage in Siesta Key, Florida, CottageSiestaKey.com, isn't just home to one of the planet's most crave-worthy cheeseburgers. It's where I had my alfresco epiphany. This charming spot, which brilliantly marries old Florida charm with contemporary flair, taught me what dining outdoors truly means. You see, for years, I'd misinterpreted the term alfresco as referring to a shared dining experience. Still, steps from the pristine white sands of one of America's most celebrated beaches, I finally got it. There's something magical about savoring exceptional food while the Gulf breeze plays through the air, proving that sometimes the best culinary discoveries come with a side of sea salt and sunshine. Located in the heart of Siesta Key Village, amid souvenir shops and visitors glowing with golden tans, stands a wooden structure crowned with a thatched roof. On one of its inviting outdoor patios, a guitarist strums a classic tune beneath a colorful umbrella, setting the perfect backdrop for diners savoring tempura shrimp, tuna tartare, and New England lobster rolls. Glasses of locally brewed Darwin Summer Days IPA clink in cheers, while those looking for an early start to the weekend share pitchers of painkillers and sangrias. Siesta Key is anything but your typical Florida beach town. This 8-mile barrier island just off the coast of Sarasota boasts some of the most pristine beaches in the country. Its powdery white sand, composed of 99% quartz, stays cool to the touch, even under the blazing sun. Breathtaking sunsets over the Gulf of Mexico leave visitors in awe, while the tranquil bay waters create the perfect setting for boating and fishing. And when it comes to fresh seafood, Siesta Key serves up some of the finest flavors in the Sunshine State. There's certainly no shortage of excellent beachfront bars and eateries in and around Siesta Key. Just to the north, Lido Key is home to the upscale shopping and dining haven of St. Armand Circle. For a more laid-back experience, head over to Anna Maria Island. Venture south, you'll discover the tranquil shores of Venice Beach, Turtle Beach, and Minnesota Key. But for the carnivores who want to eat like a billionaire without the price tag, well, the cottage delivers what we crave, the Billionaire Burger. The Billionaire Burger tops my list as one of the best burgers in the USA. Due to its opulence, it has become a social media sensation in recent years, but it won't break your vacation budget at just $25. The patty is a hearty, satisfying blend of short rib, chuck, and brisket, topped with a sharp cheddar cheese, stacked inside a toasty, buttery brioche bun. It's then slathered with the perfect amount of bacon, onion jam, and truffle aioli. Oh, you can add a fried egg or a generous helping of applewood bacon, but why mess with perfection? I've met many chefs and restaurateurs who have told me that cheeseburgers are one of, if not the most popular items on their menu, primarily due to their convenience. I mean, they're quick to prepare. We know they are won't be too messy to eat. Others have noted that guests are drawn to the combination of textures that a good burger offers. The juicy patty, creamy cheese, soft bun. But if you dig a little deeper, we find that eating a cheeseburger releases dopamine in the brain. Consuming something delicious, especially foods high in fat, sugar, and salt, triggers the release as a reward mechanism. But just being in Siesta Key, Florida, makes you feel like you've won some grand prize on a game show. Maybe it's the sun, maybe it's the beach, maybe it's the people. More than likely, it's a combination of all of the above, but one of my favorite people in Siesta Key, someone who personifies what the island is all about, is my friend Katie Spellman, a spokesperson for the Cottage and the Cottage's other properties. And Katie joins us now. Set the tone of Siesta Key, would you, Katie? No one paints a better picture of this beautiful island than you do. For someone who's never been, how would you describe it?
So I like to describe it as like a vacationer's paradise. You have a little bit of everything, and it is a very old school vibe. It's very organic and authentic to the area. You're not going to find a McDonald's out here. You're not going to find a Starbucks. You know, it's the local coffee shop, a local wine bar, local restaurants, all locally owned, all locally operated. So it's really magical for people that are from the Midwest, or people who are traveling the country to come here, and they kind of see it and they're like, this is so neat. And then obviously the waters and the sand are just pristine, you know, the 99% quartz sand that we have,
right? The
crystal clear waters that you can, probably the clearest you can get in the United States, I want to say. You know, we're up there, you know, unless you're going to the Bahamas or Cozumel, it doesn't get much clearer than here.
Let's move on to the Cottage, okay? The Cottage, the structure of the Cottage. This is not some Disney-like themed restaurant. This is an actual cottage, right, that was on the beach for a very long time. Tell me the backstory of this building.
Yeah, so in the 1920s, it was on the beach, and sometime between the 40s and the 50s, they moved it to its current location. And when we took it over in 2010, previous to that, with 2010, we took it over. Prior to that, it was a hair salon. So it was this really neat hair salon, you know, cottage-y type thing that was pulled essentially off the beach 50, 60 years prior and plopped down on Siesta Key. And then we came in and bought it in April of 2010. And it actually opened originally as a beer and shot spot for $1. They were doing beers, little 1 ounce shots and little mini beers for $1. And it was like complete chaos. And they were like, well, okay, this wasn't a good idea. So right around that time is when tapas started getting hot. Uh-huh. And there was nothing like that, nothing like small plates out here on Siesta. So that is the concept that we originally introduced as the Cottage, is tapas small. We brought in a chef, and he created this beautiful menu. And as it was successful, people were asking for a little more familiarity, right? Something that they could kind of relate to a little bit more. And we're like, all right, got it. And we created this burger that is just our #1 selling item. We're known for it. It's incredible. You love it. I love it.
Oh my God, this burger.
People come from all over to have the Billionaire Burger.
Yeah, and we're going to dig into the Billionaire Burger in just a moment. But as you were telling that story, Katie, imagine some of the characters, some of the pirates, some of the free spirits that must have spent time and just hung out in that cottage when it was on the beach back in the 1920s. Man, if those walls could talk.
And Todd, speaking of those walls, ironically enough, the cottage is actually built out of a super kind of rare wood, which I didn't know about. And I knew about it, but I was like, oh my God. And I went to the owner and I was like, what's the name of the wood? And it's called Peaky Cypress. And it's a rare hardwood that they used in the 1800s because bugs and termites can't really get into it. And then they stopped harvesting it. So we actually bought it at an old ranch in Florida that had some, and we brought it to help kind of structure the cottage into what it is now.
I'd never heard of that before. That's interesting stuff. Katie, take me inside the cottage. How would you describe the ambiance, the atmosphere of the restaurant?
You essentially have 4 different dining areas, right? You have some really cool sidewalk seating that's got a beautiful umbrella, and you're surrounded by like plush plants that we created, kind of a little wall so you can hang out on the sidewalk, have your, meal, have your cocktail in hand, and kind of watch the beach goers and the traffic go by. Or you could go up 5 or 6 stairs, and then you're on an elevated deck kind of overlooking Ocean Boulevard, where you can sit there, and we've got fans and it's shaded. You're under a tiki roof. Then you go up one more stair and you can get inside. In the center, the main event inside is the bar. It's beautiful. It's got a square shape that is in the middle of the restaurant. And then that's surrounded by, 10 tables. And then if you go a few steps to the back, past the restrooms and down outside and down the stairs, we have our hidden garden patio, which is magical. It's got a giant cabana table if you want to get there with friends. It's very Instagrammable. We have string lights. There's a small stage that you'll always find a live musician. All local live musicians, a violinist, a one-man band doing the like banjo guitar. So you essentially have four different seating areas if you want.
So let's say we've spent the day out on the sand. We've got that sun-kissed glow on our faces. We're a little tired. We got our Ray-Bans on, our flip-flops. We come over to the cottage around 3, 4, 5 o'clock. The guy's playing Margaritaville over in the corner. Is there a certain drink, or do you have specialty cocktails to top off the perfect day on the island?
Yes. We have a bunch of specialty cocktails. My favorite and the most popular is a jalapeno watermelon margarita. Oof. And it is incredible. It is made with fresh jalapeno, fresh watermelon. They're made to order. We don't batch anything. We're making everything to order for you. Beautiful salt rim on that, garnished with a fresh watermelon piece, fresh jalapeno piece. It is perfect. We blend fresh watermelon every morning down to a puree, and that's actually what we use in the drink, along with agave that is infused with fresh diced jalapenos every day.
Ooh, bartender, keep them coming. Keep them coming. All right. Let's get to the burger. I've been teasing people about the Billionaire Burger.
Let's talk about the burger.
Okay. And again, I mention this in every episode. I wrote it in the book. All of the places that we feature here on the podcast that I write about in CHUG CHOW, never was I given a freebie. I was never a guest of the owner. I paid for every single meal. I've never asked for anything. You can confirm that, right, Katie?
100%.
So for the patty, we have chuck, brisket, and short rib.
So it's a blend. So it's a brisket, chuck, Wagyu blend burger.
Right. Okay.
And then they're all obviously made to order. You have double cheddar. You have applewood smoked bacon.
The truffle aioli.
The truffle aioli sauce, a beautiful brioche bun, that's toasted perfectly. And then we give you the option of adding the applewood bacon, the tempura fried avocado, half avocado, and then the fried egg as well. So you can go all the way with it. I think you like yours just the bacon, right?
Just the bacon. Listen, I've got nothing against slapping a fried egg onto a burger, but if I'm at the beach, I got to take my shirt off. I can't be that full. And the Billionaire Burger does fill you up. Whose creation was this? Who do we have to thank for the Billionaire Burger?
The origin of the burger was the chef that we had back in, early 2000s. It said, let's create a burger, but not just any burger. Let's really make it a burger that's fit for a millionaire, and let's name it the Billionaire Burger. And he, came in and had all of these ideas, and it morphed into let's do it. We say there's only one way to get it, and that's with truffle fries. Yeah. And the staff loves it. We have very little turnover, and it's like, what should I get? I love going to a restaurant. I'm sure you do too. What should I get? And it's like, there's things that are, there's a filet on the menu. There's a short rib on the menu. There's a seafood pasta on the menu. It's like, get the burger. Like, it's so simple. Yeah. And it's so good. It's just, it's an easy decision. Like, get the burger. You won't be disappointed.
Oh, not a chance. Katie, I want to start to wrap things up here. And I think the ideal bow to this beautiful Billionaire Burger, the Cottage Siesta Key package, is a description of the ideal day on the island. I love Siesta Key. I think it's one of the top vacation destinations in the country. If you've never been, you should put it on your list. because it makes you feel like you're a million miles away. You don't need a passport. You're still close to home. They've got the Tampa airport, the Sarasota airport that'll get you right in there. If we have, let's say, 24 hours in Siesta Key, what would be the most productive and memorable way to spend that time?
Got it. So you're going to obviously want to try and spend the night, but if you're here for a day, roll up, find some parking. There's really no bad parking on the island. Wherever you can grab a spot, grab it. We have multiple locally owned modes of transportation that are complimentary. You just give them gratuity and they will drive you anywhere you want. We also have a trolley that goes all through the island. And go to the beach, hang out at the beach for the day, go down to the public beach and check out the iconic lifeguard towers, the iconic sign that says Siesta Key Beach, the concessions, do all of that stuff. Dip your feet in the sand, in the water, take a walk, feel the sand, come back, get some sun, shower, head to the cottage, do a little shopping on the island, all locally owned, all organic and locally owned shops are all throughout, here. So you could do some shopping. And then when you're ready for dinner, roll up to the cottage. I would say like 5-ish, minimal weight, if any, and get some dinner, have a jalapeno watermelon margarita. And then when you're done with dinner, about 2 blocks, I know we talked about this, 2 blocks, and you stay to the same side of the street as the cottage, down maybe a 4 or 5 minute walk, is a beautiful pier, a broken pier, and you're right on the sand. And they do the military taps at sunset, catch the sunset, hang out. And then when you're on your way back, come back, have another watermelon jalapeno margarita, listen to some music on the back patio, digest a little, and just chill. And then, wrap it up and you're going to sleep really good. You got some sun, you have a couple cocktails in you, you had a really good burger, and
life
it's
is
the best
good.
day.
Life is good,
and it's the best day. And you supported local, you dined local, you saw something that you're going to tell your friends about that are going to come. And, and my favorite tip to tell people that they're visiting, talk to your servers. We're in the hospitality industry. We love talking to you. We want to know where you're from. We want to know what you're doing. We want to give you our hidden tips. I tell them about the sunset and the military taps. It's super special. And you're not going to find that anywhere else. And people love giving other people information, just like you're giving everyone information about the Billionaire Burger, right?
Katie Spellman, you're the absolute best. You've got me fired up for my next trip to Siesta Key. Thank you.
No problem, Todd.
By the way, we did a tattooed traveler video from the cottage where I feature the Billionaire Burger, and you can see that on the YouTube channel at The Tattooed Traveler. Katie, next time the Price is Right live stage show comes to the Van Wezel Center there in Sarasota, you have to come. I'd love to have you.
I'm going to come to the show, and then you're going to come see me, and I'm going to, have some lunch with you.
You get one of those jalapeno watermelon margaritas.
Yes, you have to try one. I'll have one too.
Perfecto. Love it. Thanks again. We'll see you soon, okay?
All right, Todd. Thank you.
That's a wrap on another mouth-watering episode of Chug and Chow. Hope we got your taste buds tingling, your wanderlust brewing. If you're loving what we're serving up here, what do you say? Don't be a stranger. Hit that subscribe button faster than a short order cook flips a pancake. And if we've earned it, we'd be over the moon if you'd leave us a 5-star review. Those stars and the words you write are like the secret sauce that help other hungry listeners find our little corner of the podcast universe. Now, before you head out to hunt down your next great meal, don't forget to check out my book, Chug and Chow, the Tattooed Traveler's 50 favorite dive bars and food joints across America, featuring the Cottage in Siesta Key. It's your ultimate roadmap to America's most character-filled eateries and dive bars, and you can pick up a copy on Amazon or at chugandchow.com. And here's a little cherry on top. Proceeds from the sale of the book go directly to local food shelters all across the country. So when you buy the book, you're not just feeding your own adventure spirit, you're helping feed folks in communities across America. And that's a recipe for good karma, is what that is. So until we speak again, keep your forks ready and your glasses raised. Remember this, the best meals aren't just about what's on your plate. They're about the stories, the people, and the memories you make along the way.
Chug and Chow is produced by the host with the most LLC. All rights reserved.